Hello everybody and happy February. We are month 1 into my temperature blanket for Port Alsworth, Alaska, and to be honest, a lot has changed since we first had this intro of what's the plan, what am I doing. So I kind of want to give you guys an update of how this blanket is going to turn out. My whole color scheme has changed since then, and then I'm going to show you guys what the blanket looks like. So first and foremost, let me show you how to do this flower tutorial right here. Let's make our flower. So I'm going to start with a 3.5 millimeter hook. This is the hook that I am using to make my flowers. Again, you can do this in whatever size of a hook you want to see however big of a flower you want. Smaller the hook, smaller the flower, bigger the hook, bigger the flower. So I would say determine the size of hook you want to use. This is what I am using. You're also going to need scissors, your base color, which for me is white, and then your petal color, which I'm going to do it in this green. So to start, we are going to make a magic circle. So with our base color, and don't be intimidated if you've never made one before. I literally just learned how to make one. So it's pretty simple. I usually just pinch the string and I go around these two fingers and then I go back around, and this time I'm going to go over to make an X, and then I just hold on to it on the other side. With my hook, I'm gonna go underneath, and with that furthest string, I'm going to pull it through, and I just flip it over to the other side. And to secure it, I usually chain 1, but typically your pattern will tell you, I want to call it a recipe. It's not a recipe, it's a pattern. Your pattern will tell you what to do. But the cool thing about this is you can pull this string and it determines the size of the circle. So what we're going to do is we're going to put 12 single crochets into this circle, and then we're going to seal it shut. Seal it shut is what I call it. So to single crochet, if you don't know how to do that, go underneath your string, yarn over your string on your hand, pull over, so now you should have 2 on your hook, and then yarn over this one and pull through. Sorry, I am not a great teacher. We're going to do that 11 more times. 2. I'm going to pull this a little snug a little bit. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we have 12 total. I like to count back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There's our 12th one. Perfect. See that string right here? We're going to pull it, and it's going to close this up. Perfect. We're going to put our hook through the 12th one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 is right here. But instead of pulling through with white, we're actually going to pull through with green, and this is going to start our petals. So here's how we're going to make the petals. We're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, yarn over. Then we're going to go back through that loop that we just joined at, yarn over, pull through, and we're going to pull them so they're all the same length. And then we're going to pull through. So it's like so yarn over, go down, pull up, so they're all the same, and then pull through the 2. So now we have 2 on our hook. We're going to do this again. So we have 3. And now what we're going to do next, now that we have 3 of those stitches on here, we're going to do the same thing, but we're going to go into the next single crochet over and do that same thing where we put 3 on there. 1, pull through, 2, 3. So besides the chain 3, you should have 6 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You're going to yarn over and pull through all of them. So they're all connected. Then we're gonna chain 3, 1, 2, 3. This is gonna close off our petal. We're gonna go into the next single crochet, yarn over, and slip stitch. So that made our first, sorry, that's a little messy. That made our first petal. Now let's continue this until we reach the very end. Alright, now we are on the last petal. We haven't pulled through yet, so we're going to pull through those. Going to chain 3. And we're going to combine it right here at the bottom of this one right here. So we're going to go under, pull through, and then to tie it off, I'm going to do another yarn over and pull through this hook. I'm going to pull it tight. Sorry if my technical jargon is not technical. It's just how I do it. I'm gonna cut this so I can pull that out. I'm gonna leave a little bit longer of a tail for the white ones, because again, this is how, I'll explain it, but this is how I tie it together, all together. There's also a join as you go method, but then that doesn't let me do the daily updates as I'm filming them, as I've been doing on my daily stuff, so I'm just going to crochet or sew them together as we go. So, because we have this hole, I'm going to pull it tight. There we go. Kind of close it off a little bit more, that's okay. I want all my strings on the other side, so on the back side, I'm going to put my hook through wherever is most comfortable, wherever it'll fit. I'm gonna put over all of these straggly yarns. I have to do one at a time, and then I'm gonna pull it through. This part's a little rough. It's not horrible. Okay, there we go. So then that is our completed flower, and we have the backs ready. So when I have to connect the next flower, which I'll talk about in a little bit, or in next month's video how I connect them, I have these strings to be able to sew them together, and then I'll tie them off and then cut them shorter. But that is how I created my flower. Now let's talk about the color scheme. So the whole idea is making all of these little flowers will have a high row and a low row for every month. So each month will have 2 rows. The next row will, like, flower will go here, here, here. So they're a little off center every single time, which is totally fine. And the goal is to have just a blanket at the end of the year. If you're not familiar with temperature blankets, that's what they look like. I have updated my color chart. This is what it looks like from the high to the low. Let me show you what the colors represents. This is 90 plus, 80 to 89, 70 to 79, 60 to 69, 50 to 59, 40 to 49, which we've seen this color pop up quite a bit. I feel like we've seen this one a lot this year, which is the 30 to 39, 20 to 29, 10 to 19, 0 to 9. Now this is where it gets a little bit confusing. 0 to 9, negative 9 to negative 1, negative 19 to negative 10, negative 29 to negative 20, negative 39 to negative 30, and then this one is negative 40 and below. We have this 150 degree range. So far for the month of January, we really stuck into these for the first part between the 10 to 40 degrees, but then in the last week of January, we saw all the way into the negative teens. I'm doing all of my temperatures in the Fahrenheit, and then I'm also recording them on an Excel spreadsheet. Every morning when I get up, I just look and see what the highs and the lows are, and I update that into my sheet every day. I know that there is a website you can look at to see the overall temperatures, but I haven't been able to find one for Port Alsworth, which is, maybe it's because we're so remote, I don't know. I think I need to do a little bit more research, but that is where we're at. I'm just having an alarm on my phone to have me check every single day. Each flower takes me about 5 minutes to make. I've gotten faster, so maybe more like 3-4 minutes to make. And so if I have a time where we're sitting down and watching a movie, I just crank them out because I have my Excel spreadsheet I just look at. And again, it's 2 flowers per day. So this is my color scheme. All of the yarn is acrylic yarn from Joann's. It is from the Big Twist brand. And I am using just a white center for my flowers. So here we go. We're gonna see the progress for January so far. I'll insert the video of me doing my blanket drop outside just a couple minutes ago, but it's way too long to show you guys just right here. So I'm gonna show you bits and pieces at a time. I've been doing updates on short form videos of just week by week. So you can see we had some temperatures in the 0 to 9 range in the very beginning of the year, but it's been pretty consistent in the even like 20s and 30s. That's what this is, 20s and 30s, all throughout. Oh, some of these I need to tighten. Whoops. All throughout the month. And then we hit our first 40 degrees, and then we even had a couple days where we hit 40 in the same day. This actually happened when we were in California, the first one, and it was crazy because it was like 55 degrees in California, and my mom sent me a picture, and her thermometer thing outside, whatever it's called, was at 48 degrees. So wasn't that big of a temperature difference, which was crazy. But right after that 40 degrees, we went into some colder range. As you can see, the negative teens, and then today's temperatures even ranged from -4 to about 18 degrees. So there was a really big range. Usually these colors are within like 10 degrees of each other, like 30 to 39. This one's a big jump too, where it's the this is the 0 to 9 degree range, and then this is the 30s range. So that is even a big difference right there. But yeah, we saw some crazy weather this January, and what a weird year to even be doing my first temperature blanket because it's been an abnormally warm winter. So all my backing, if you've watched the videos, I am conjoining them all by just sewing them together week by week. This way they are connected with the center strings. I just leave a long tail, connect them that way. How they're connected this way is I just have a long strand that goes through the whole project, and then it's just sewn around the side. My backing, I'm still trying to figure out. I think I've had a couple of suggestions. I'm wondering if I should do a year 2 and put those colors right behind it to see how different it is per like in the year. So you have it back to back, and then both sides are the clustered flowers. I don't know if I'm gonna even have time for that. And I don't even know if Joann's is gonna have this yarn. There's so many things about it going bankrupt or whatever. So I'm not even sure what I'm gonna do. Another suggestion that my mom actually had was to do a fleece backing and sew it together at the very end. I might do that one instead. We'll see as things get closer. But as this is panning out, you can see, like, I can't even show you this whole thing in here. It's about as tall as me lengthwise. So that's really what I'm trying to do, is keep it where we're adding on to it. I guess it would be this way. So we'd have low highs, and then February we'll start low highs. This is very interesting because the end of the month is, I do weekly updates, right? and the end of the month is not on like a Saturday. So this whole blanket I sewed together very end of January, and I still have February to put on top. So when I do that end of the week video, we're gonna see them continue on the top of here. So we should have 4 rows in some places, which brings up a good point. Salina, you have 31 flowers. February doesn't have 31 days. I know, this is what I'm thinking, okay? So I want them all to start with the first, so we can all be like, okay, first, we know those are the first of the month. But when we get towards the end, I'm gonna pick a color that would be a good filler color. So it would be awkward if it ended, what? This is 31, 30, 29. So if we had these just random 3 hanging off the end, I'm gonna find a filler color that I can put that works well with these colors but isn't close to any of the colors that I have. My choices are slim. But putting that here as the filler, so it doesn't correspond to a temperature, it's just a filler color. So that will be how, you know, the last couple of flowers will be. So that is my idea for how to deal with that, with the not having the exact amount of days in the month. 1 month in, and I'm super excited about this. So we know that it's going to be 31 flowers going lengthwise, but widthwise, it's gonna be 24, 12 because 12 months times 2 because we are doing a high and a low. So 24 widthwise is about this much. So I think with it being literally as long as me lengthwise and then this much in width, of course, like the blanket, we are working this way forward. I had no idea that's what we were gonna do until probably a week ago. So I'm really excited to see how this is gonna turn out. Again, this is just January. I'm excited to see what February has. It looks like, you know, we're in these cooler temps right now. It looks like we're going to have back into these temps again. So who knows what this is gonna look like. March is typically our best winter month and our coldest, so we'll see if that actually happens. Who knows? But I'm excited to track it this way. This is just very interesting. Thanks you guys for following along in the journey. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. I post weekly videos about the progress updates of the blanket, and then again, I do at the end of the month, we'll do a long form video just talking about the blanket in general, the updates, and any answering more specific questions that you guys have. All right, we'll see you guys tomorrow for another vlog. You guys have a great day. Bye.